YouTube is what successful individuals achieve on, make large audiences adore, and create content and amuse numerous people. But with that success comes increased risk of scrutiny. This video explains that this sort of thing is not some YouTuber's worst nightmare. Sometimes all it takes is a single video to wreck everything. So how does a creator who was once loved by his fans shift from that to being hated in a single day? It was possible to offend, ruin careers, and lose years of work within the framework of one message. A single sketch, a crass joke or unpleasant comment, an offending gesture or provocative spectacle may go viral, watched by tens of millions or even hundreds of millions, and result in dire penalties. As soon as individuals post something, it remains on the web for eternity, and the World Wide Web has an eidetic memory. Later in the video, which is to be released today, you will find out about several YouTubers who posted one video that put an end to their channel. There's the Logan Paul attempting to commit suicide in a Japanese forest while filming, or Shane Dawson having his past sexually abusing children brought up. But what exactly went wrong? But how did they succeed and when they failed regarding dealing with the consequences? That's why we are going to take a deeper look at each case and outline what led to such outcomes, as well as the lessons that can be learned from their failure. These tales are cautionary reminders for all content creators what one video can do for you. Stay tuned while we look at the YouTubers who tarnished their reputation with one video. Number 1. Paul's Suicide Forest. Logan Paul's Suicide Forest is one of the biggest controversies of YouTube ever that points to the effects of unethical coverage of content. In a vlog uploaded in December 2017, Logan takes his viewers through the infamous Japanese Aokigahara forest, commonly referred to as the Suicide Forest. The audience was outraged by the video because it depicted a dead person's body and Logan's gross jokes and Oculus 2013 review. The response to the KPMG move was hardly lavish. Tens of millions of people judged him for his appalling sensitivity to other people's suffering, and the video was soon taken offline, but the harm had been done. Advertisers distanced themselves from him, YouTube expelled him from the preferred partner listing, and his image plummeted. It made Logan a world's example of reckless influencer actions, receiving people's anger as well as claims of disrespect towards Japanese culture of politeness and secrecy. That is why, instead of disappearing, Logan started a long process of coming to terms with it all. He then apologized 4 times, gave $1 million to groups supporting suicide prevention, and took the opportunity to speak for mentalization. Gradually, he changed his content creation, began doing podcasts, and even started a boxing career and started changing his image as the more mature content creator. With his work, he has been able to reclaim his fan base in part, but the incident carries an important lesson in responsibility which influencers should bear. Paul's journey shows that it is possible, but only when one takes full responsibility and offers proper effort and hard work in the personal transformation process. Number 2. PewDiePie. The N-word incident. Felix Kjellberg, otherwise known as PewDiePie, is arguably one of the biggest YouTube stars of all time, and certainly one of the biggest individuals on the platform. However, last year his gaming career was threatened when he was captured on video using a racial slur while playing the game. Even though the statement was made under the influence of anger and many people noted that he just lost his temper, the case put much focus on it. Some argued that, for someone that has a large following, PewDiePie should have avoided uttering that word. The reaction was swift and severe. YouTube boycotted him and deleted him from some of its programs. Despite this, PewDiePie said sorry on the internet and explained that he used the slur due to frustration. However, this behavior was not acceptable, and people will never forget. For some time, PewDiePie was most famously known for the N-word, where people debated whether the man was just a creation of the environment or if he had a malicious heart. However, PewDiePie's career did not get severely affected by the storm, in part because, after the storm, he did not attempt to ignore the storm but had been honest and transparent with his actions whilst also learning from the storm. That said, I believe this is where the writing on the wall regarding the character of YouTubers who have made real mistakes and are genuinely remorseful is seen in their ability to immediately start healing. Number 3. James Charles Toddy Westbrook controversy. James Charles, a beauty guru who gained popularity on YouTube, faced an enormous scandal in 2019 due to a pretty dramatic betrayal by another beauty vlogger, Toddy Westbrook. The situation started when Toddy released a video in which she claimed that James had been unfaithful to her and used her. James then decided to take the fight to the next level, and as some viewers noted, his response was overly defensive. But the main video in this story was the one Toddy uploaded, showing other ugly truths about James, which included harassing straight men. The heat was so enormous that James had lost millions of subscribers within the space of a week, and people were even asking whether the man deserves all the fame that he had got or not. James Charles did ultimately make a public apology, but by the time he did, the problems with his public image had been done. The video from Tati and James's subsequent video created distrust in the public, which was still evident even after months. Fortunately, James has now returned, and although this storyline remains one of the most infamous examples of a dramatic single video turning an individual's life around for the worse, especially in the beauty community, drama can be especially crippling there. Number 4. Shane Dawson. The pedophilia and racism controversy. Shane Dawson also faced severe backlash in 2020 after a bunch of videos resurfaced from around a decade ago, featuring him telling and making tasteless child abuse jokes and racially insensitive jokes. Shane, who was previously a highly popular figure on YouTube thanks to his documentary-type videos as well as his personality, suddenly received his fair share of hatred and criticism. This particular video that offended many people was the one where Shane was making sexual suggestions about then 11-year-old Willow Smith, as well as other embarrassing things from this earlier work. These videos, and added to his previous portrayals of blackface, as well as the use of the N-word, painted a picture of a man who did not care how far he could stretch the limits while causing pain. The internet again got really angry, and Shane Dawson's supporters, including Honey, which was among his sponsors, cut their ties with him. He lost audience and was left with an incredibly small fan base that no human could hope for, eradicating any future career he had. Consequently, Shane released several apologies, but this time, the audience could never trust him again. However, the negative impressions caused by such videos were too many to be erased by his efforts at reform. Number 5. David Dobrik. The Vlog Squad Scandal. David Dobrik is the leader of the Vlog Squad and was once one of YouTube's most popular personalities, who relied on pranking and performing stunts on his friends. Though the controversy happened in 2021 due to the unsafe pranks and
all my roommates
of
just
the
started
Vlog
high-fiving
Squad and the issues regarding consent. That was until former Vlog Squad member Seth Francois shared his story of the time he was tricked into kissing another man that he found to be extremely prank and non-consensual. David himself was not even closely accused of anything criminal, yet being connected with the prank and Vlog Squad series, he became involved in the scandal. While the advertisers walked away and David lost his audience on YouTube, the happy-go-lucky midnight gamer stereotype was destroyed. Subsequently, David offered an apology, but the trend made everyone wonder about the accountability of an influencer with regards to the issues of ethics of their streams. Therefore, what can we understand from these YouTubers who destroyed their image in one video? First, we find that getting fame on YouTube can be very fast but can be lost in just as fast a time. These creators at the heights of their fame and success fail to understand that they can cross those limits beyond which one cannot return back unscathed. And yet, social media has no time for ignorance. Each action is done very carefully and, should something go wrong, the person is held accountable, for the internet never forgets. The campaign can be ruined in seconds. It is enough to make one mistake, to shoot one wrong video or the TV ad. Logan Paul and what happened to him alone will always be a good example to anyone who wants to become a YouTuber. The most valuable message is thus the importance of being conscious of the duties that accompany having a large following. Tens of millions of people, including children and adolescents, adore and trust these people, spiritual leaders of our time. When they go overboard in their wickedness, whether to be provocative, sensationalist, or simply because they find it funny, they don't only put their jobs on the line. They are also with their audience in bad manners that may lead to harm to the communities those social media platforms use for their content. One of the main discussions that serve as a lesson learned seems to be the consideration of the aspects of actuality and extra carefulness. For one, creativity is what the internet is built around, and yet there is a quite thin line between being creative and being outrageous or risky. Boomers have to be careful with what they do and present to the audience, and how it may turn out to affect the focus of their content. No matter how many additional views a company wants to earn, it should never underestimate the value of respect and sensitivity. As soon as a creator loses touch with these values, they are likely to lose a viewership and the general public's trust.